was that?
That was the sound of my plan working perfectly.
Happy Tuesday everyone, welcome to Gaming Tuesday, and today I'm giving my review on Star Wars Battlefront II. Now, I did a review during the beta, so if you want to check that out, click the link up above or down below in the description. All in all, my opinion of the game hasn't changed much. I still think this is easily one of the best Star Wars games ever made. For starters, the campaign was a blast. I really enjoyed the story, however, playing on the hardest setting, I managed to beat the game in about 4.5 hours, making it an extremely short story. Mixing the fact that many of the missions you play focus on other Star Wars heroes and not the main character of this game makes the story feel even shorter. I am, however, thrilled that EA plans to release more content for the story in the upcoming months. Moving on to the main meat of the game, and that is the multiplayer. For me, it almost feels as though this is one game that contains 3 games in one. First up, you have Heroes vs. Villains, which is a great improvement on Battlefront 2015's release and could almost be its own game altogether. The only issue I have with this mode is you should be locked out of the character you choose if you happen to die, giving the chance for other players on your team to use them. As of now, it really seems as though the overpowered heroes are always chosen while others like Bosk or Iden sit idle. Then you have Galactic Assault, one of the most epic simulations for battles in the Star Wars universe. This mode is great and the maps they choose were well designed, however I still wish the maps were dynamic in the sense that you could damage structures like we see in Battlefield games. Finally, my highlight of this game and what is easily my favorite mode hands down is Starfighter Assault. I think they really listened to the criticism of the last Battlefront game and the lack of space content in it. For me, Starfighter Assault is easily worth the $60 price tag in itself, and I'm eagerly awaiting more space battles to come out. Personally, I'd love to see a version of the Battle of Hoth where you're escaping the Rebel base and you have to go through an Imperial blockade. I also think a great Starfighter Assault map would be the opening battle over Coruscant that we saw in Star Wars Episode 3. Now, I couldn't do a review about this game without discussing all the controversy and the pay-to-win structure. First off, I really don't think this is a pay-to-win game. Seeing other videos out there where people spent $100 on the largest in-game currency pack didn't seem to net any advantages over purchasing through in-game credits. Sure, you're getting a ton of boxes, but it seems like many of the items are over-duplicated and you can't really unlock heroes from the boxes. Most of the items are at their lowest tier, so you still have to upgrade them, and the variety, at least from what I've seen, seems to center around a few cards and not many others. I'm in agreement with many of you that this current trend of loot boxes and games with microtransactions is getting out of hand. It seems every game has their own currency nowadays, but at the same time, EA mentioned there won't be a paid DLC season for this game, so I'm willing to give them some slack when it comes to that. Staying on the topic of crates, I really think that they should be of equal price regardless if you want a Hero one, Trooper one, or Starship one. Personally, getting all 3 crates, I did not notice a difference in items obtained, especially when paying for the higher priced one. In fact, I seem to get better cards at the 2,200 credit boxes. Other than that, there have been quite a few bugs that I've discovered, and one that seems to have lived on from the beta. What I'm talking about is when you attempt to exit a game at the end of a match, you are put right back into a match that's already in progress. I've also experienced a few glitches that made ships invisible or your player or weapon invisible as well. Some of the cutscenes seemed a bit choppy, especially when loading throughout the campaign, and I also need to mention the fact that there's no screen safe zone adjustment for the time being, and at any time I play this game, I have to resize a picture of the TV screen. Now, as far as nerfs and buffs go, I noticed a lot that needs tweaking, but just to give a few examples, I feel like the ARC 170 seems ridiculously overpowered in the comparison to other ships in that class. Chewbacca also seems surprisingly weak, especially when compared to heroes like Lando or a villain like Bosk, and staying on the topic of Bosk, he seems to need a bit of a buff as well. The Emperor also seems to not hold up as well during a fight. The only luck I've had when playing as him was to freeze the enemies and then use the other 2 powered attacks. The lightning damage to me seems very low for a standard attack, and I feel like that could use a buff. Rey seems to have an extremely fast recharge rate compared to other heroes, and I think the mind control ability is the ultimate one-hit KO. Anytime you're near a cliff, the player just seems to be magnetized to the edge. Other than that, I really do enjoy this game. I feel like this was a perfect sequel to rectify all the issues in Battlefront 1. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss the ability to customize the soldiers like we saw in the first one with skin tone and hair length, but the stunning graphics and the vast amount of content from all different eras makes up for it. I would highly recommend picking this game up if you are a fan of Star Wars, and even if you're not, if you want to check out a cool space game, this is it. Thank you everyone for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and enjoy the rest of your day.